Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A young mom sitting on the couch holding her 7-day-old baby right here when shots are fired into the home, hitting them both.
Illegal dumpers invading this Detroit neighborhood. Take a look at the video. Old mattresses covering the sidewalk. We'll show you what you can do to prevent this from happening near your home.
The Soundgarden show here at Fox Theater last night turned out to be Chris Cornell's last of his life. Today, coming up, the shocking new details we're learning about the last song he sang.
But we're going to begin with a weather alert and a wind advisory that is in effect now for all of southeast Michigan until 8 o'clock tonight. Look at live pictures from our downtown Skycam. It's doing a job on the flags, but look at the job it's also doing on the camera itself, shaking around. We've just learned there are 35,000 people without power at this hour.
Yeah, let's get right over to Andrew. We've been hearing about the threat of storms, so what's the status on that front, Andrew?
Amazing. Those flags holding on for dear life, right? Well, no storm activity yet, Kimberly and Devin, but the winds, they are howling out there. You saw that live, and yeah, the camera bouncing around too. Wind advisory, not just here in downtown Detroit, but for all of southeast Michigan, all of southern lower Michigan, out toward Lansing, also Manchester, just west of Ann Arbor, down to Lenawee County as well, until 8 o'clock this evening. As mentioned, 35 power outages. You might come across some four-way stops without a traffic light that's working. So again, treat those as four-way stops. Here's a look at 4 Live radar. Not much in the way of storm activity here. There are a couple of rumbles of thunder down to our south, closer to northwest Ohio, northern Indiana, but another line here developing out toward Milwaukee. Not growing very quickly right now, but we'll see how it progresses as it gets closer to Detroit and southeast Michigan. Still think there's at least a minor chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms between now and say about 10 p.m. When will these winds die down? Well, certainly after 8 p.m., but what about temperatures for tonight and beyond? We'll talk about that, your weekend forecast, straight ahead.
Okay, Andrew, thank you. Some breaking news to tell you about right now. We're learning a young woman killed by a wrong-way driver in New York City's Times Square was from Michigan.
Our Sandra Ali following the story now from the newsroom. Sandra?
Well, Devin, Kimberly, this afternoon an out-of-control driver plowed into nearly 24 people in Times Square. That crash killed an 18-year-old woman and injured 22 others. And now we are learning that 18-year-old was from West Michigan. We have indeed confirmed Alyssa Elsman from Portage was killed in the crash. She was visiting New York City with family when that driver plowed into the crowd. Her 13-year-old sister was also hurt in the crash. Her condition is not known right now. Just hours prior to the crash, Elsman's social media accounts showed plenty of photos from her trip to New York City. She graduated from high school in Portage last year. The school telling us right now at this hour that they will indeed have grief counselors at the school tomorrow. Just minutes ago, in fact, her former principal talked about what a great student she was.
Alyssa was a really thoughtful, really bright, very pleasant young lady that every interaction I had with her was positive. I'm to be honest with you, kind of struggling, to be honest with you, about the whole loss.
Investigators say a 26-year-old man was behind the wheel of that car. The driver, a former member of the U.S. Navy. He also has 2 prior arrests for driving while intoxicated. He is now being tested for drugs and alcohol during the time of the crash. We should point out the mayor of New York City saying right now there was absolutely no indication this was an act of terror. And of course, we're going to bring you any new developments during the newscast and always on clickondetroit.com. Devin, Kimberly, back to you.
Okay, Sandra, thank you. Our other top story tonight, it's a death that has sent shockwaves through the music world.
Sure has. Just hours after playing a sold-out show at the Fox Theater, Soundgarden's Chris Cornell was found dead in his hotel room at the MGM Grand. Let's get to Jason Colthorpe. Jason, the word came pretty quickly from the coroner that this was a suicide.
Yeah, we have gotten that word from what we've been reporting that it is confirmed Chris Cornell hanged himself in his MGM hotel room just an hour after the show here at the Fox last night. And for fans, obviously a shock for those who loved and revered the rocker who pioneered the grunge movement out of Seattle in the early 90s, but especially for the fans who were here at the sold-out Fox Theater last night. Believe me, those fans are replaying every second of that concert over in their heads again. Just an hour after last night's Soundgarden show, a bodyguard was breaking down Chris Cornell's hotel door after Cornell's wife called, concerned about his behavior. Sources tell Local 4 he was found unresponsive on the bathroom floor with a resistance band around his neck. Cornell didn't interact much with the Detroit crowd other than to demand everybody stand up right at the beginning, and later that fans were so good, he said, quote, "I feel bad for the next city."
It was just kind of like, I don't know, I felt something was wrong.
This was Joey Mugan's third Soundgarden show. He was right up front, and before he was able to come away with the set list, he noticed something about the 52-year-old frontman.
It was a little off last night just from the way he sounded, and it just, the way he looked too, it just didn't feel right.
I thought it was amazing.
Others like Chris Chapman felt it was as good as the other times they'd seen Cornell, but today what stands out is how he blended the Led Zeppelin song "In My Time of Dying" into the final song of the night and ultimately his life.
But it seemed to be a little telling in retrospect that he thought he would put those words into the last piece of music that he chose to express before he did what he did.
The lyric from that song that Chris Cornell sang is, quote, "I want nobody to mourn. All I want for you to do is take my body home." It's a far cry from his final tweet, which he sent right outside the Fox earlier yesterday, taking a picture of the marquee with a shout out to Detroit. It was very upbeat and, of course, a playful hashtag there. Of course, again, just a shock to the fans after they would learn what would happen just hours later in his hotel. We're live downtown. Jason Coltrup, Local 4.
Well, Jason, we heard some reflections there from some concert goers, but you too were at last night's show. I'm wondering what you thought, if it seemed an unusual performance.
You know, as it was going on, and I saw them in 1994, so I really don't have a lot to base it on, but I thought he was a little reserved, I didn't think his voice sounded all that great, so, but it was still a good show. I thought it was a great show. A rock reporter that I saw last night and talked to today about it, I wanted her honest opinion. She said from a critical point of view, she's seen them many times, she thought the performance was a disaster and his vocal performance was all over the place. Wow. She clearly thought something was wrong. Devin?
Yeah. All right, Jason.
All right, now to brand new information. We've learned after a week-old baby and his mother were injured in a shooting last night on Detroit's east side.
Tonight, that mother is sharing her terrifying story with us as both she and her baby are now trying to recover.
Lakita Lamb gave birth last Thursday to her son, Surmir. Then last night, someone pulled up to her home on Madeline Street and started firing. Sean Lay spoke to her today. Sean, first off, how's the little baby doing tonight?
Just got an update, Kimberly, from the family. They're telling me little Surmir has a gash on his head. He's being held in the ICU right now as doctors monitor the bleeding coming from that wound. Today, he's 8 days old, and becoming one of the youngest victims we ever heard of Detroit gun violence.
It's not a hole, but it's like a deep cut.
Lakita Lamb is out of the hospital after being shot in the leg last night. In her arms at the time, her newborn, just 7 days old, Surmir, and one of those shots grazing his tiny head.
The bullet didn't hit no bone or nothing, so that was a good thing.
Lakita just brought her newborn home from St. John Hospital. He was born May 11th. Now the infant is back at St. John in the ICU. 9 people were inside this home on Madeline on the city's east side when witnesses say a woman and a man pulled up with kids in their vehicle, opening fire on the entire house with what's described as an AK-47 and a handgun. Lakita was sitting on the couch when she was hit and Surmir was grazed. Her 3 other young boys hit the floor.
They was laying right here on the floor. By the time I got up to run with the baby, they was already crawling on the floor to the hallway.
How you doing, man? You can see where shots were fired into the downstairs, the roof, windows.
The bullet traveled so far, it went through the kitchen wall.
2 shots hitting right above Laura Lamb's head in her bed's headboard.
Was asleep, baby. All I heard was bang, bang. She didn't care who was in here.
I think the police officers that transported him, they didn't waste no time to wait for EMS. They came right in and took him right out and pulled off.
What could have been so bad to fire these shots into the house? The family members say all this was over an argument over a 3-year-old's pair of shoes. The gun people, a man and a woman, we're told police are looking for, still out there tonight. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4.
Wow. All right, Sean. Well, President Trump pushing back, speaking out for the first time today after the Justice Department appointment of a special counsel to handle an investigation into the Trump campaign's possible ties to Russia. After some early morning tweets that showed his frustration, the president moments ago said he was, as he put it, fine with anything people want to do. Blaine Alexander in Washington with the latest. Blaine.
Well, Devin, we've seen two very different responses from the president last night, saying that he looks forward to ending this matter quickly. Today, likening it to a witch hunt.
The future, a lot of time, and Mr. President.
President Trump today welcoming the Colombian president to the White House, but he's firing back on his critics here at home.
The entire thing has been a witch hunt.
This after the Justice Department appointed former FBI Director Robert Mueller as special counsel, leading an investigation into possible Trump campaign ties to Russia.
I think it divides the country. I think we have a very divided country because of that and many other things.
The American people have a right to know the truth.
The appointment of the special counsel, I think, helps assure people and the Justice Department that they're going to go do their jobs independently and thoroughly.
Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein on Capitol Hill today, behind closed doors, briefing senators on the Comey firing and where the federal investigation is now headed under Mueller.
The biggest legal change seems to be that Mr. Mueller is going to proceed forward with the idea of a criminal investigation versus a counterintelligence investigation.
It comes during a turbulent week for the White House, still feeling the backlash from the abrupt firing of FBI Director James Comey. Now, the New York Times is reporting former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn told the Trump transition team he was under investigation before he was appointed, raising questions about why the president gave him the job in the first place. And this time tomorrow, the president will be on his first overseas trip, hoping to turn the focus back to his agenda. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine, lots more ahead here on Local 4 News at 5. Nick?
And a horrible fire ripped through not one, but 2 apartment buildings in Sterling Heights. Firefighters have a lot of questions. Why was the fire able to move so quickly? And were there any working smoke detectors?
Any smoke detectors did not go off at all. That was the scary part.
But those are smaller headlines in comparison to the larger one. A woman was killed. We're introducing to Laura Phillips.
Also, a new warning for folks living along Lake Erie. What the EPA is predicting that could make water from that lake undrinkable this summer. Hank?
Illegal dumpers targeting this Detroit neighborhood. Just take a look at the huge mess that was left behind. We'll show you how you can stop illegal dumpers in their tracks.
New at 6.
Back-to-back break-ins this morning in Ferndale.
When she saw me, she ran to her car.
The burglar is a woman. Tonight we've got the pictures of her car police want you to see.
All right, Sean, plus frustration in Midtown as thieves break into a popular restaurant. New at 6, why they left with something big but got away with nothing. Well, they're out there creating a big mess and headaches for the city of Detroit.
Talking about illegal dumpers, and unfortunately many strike in the summer. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester live with from one area that recently was targeted with what you can do to help stop them. And Hank, it is an enormous problem.
Devin, it's a huge problem, and especially during this time of year. What happened here on this street is ridiculous. We had more than a dozen mattresses covering the sidewalk here all the way down the roadway. People couldn't even get by. They were angry, and they had every right to be. It's become an old mattress burial ground. Roughly a dozen just dumped here on Chippewa Avenue on the west side, covering the sidewalks. Nasty, dirty mattresses dumped in the middle of the night.
You have to wake up every day and look at these mattresses, plus the empty vacant houses that's here not being kept up. And also you have all these mattresses. Now they're dumping trash out here. And this is a nice neighborhood.
A neighborhood now being targeted by illegal dumpers.
Just the other day, someone stopped and asked could they dump, and they were in a powder blue big pickup truck. So they're just making this their dumping grounds.
I did contact the city. The mess was cleaned up. When we arrived back to check on things, the mattresses had been removed. The mess now gone. So how can you report problems like this one? And what should you do if you catch a dumper in the act? First, try to write down a vehicle description or the license plate number. Take note of what was dumped, where, and when. Also, you can call the city directly at 313-224-6000 to report the issue. You can also use this app, Improve Detroit. You simply use your phone to take a photo of the problem in your neighborhood. Upload that photo to the app, and a work order is generated by the city within 24 to 48 hours. Before those mattresses were removed here on Chippewa Avenue, we did pass on critical information to the city, a description of those responsible, and ID information taken from the mattresses themselves.
You know, we live here. This is our neighborhood. We want it to look nice when we come out. We don't want to look at trash every day.
Back out here live, and those responsible may have felt like they could just leave those mattresses here in front of this abandoned property, or maybe the one behind me. Nobody would pay attention. Well, the reality is both of these properties recently bought. They're in the process of being fixed up, and the guy who's behind me right now doing the work says it's hard for me to continue doing the work every day because I come here, these mattresses are here, there's trash and debris, and unfortunately, he's been getting ticketed. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester, back to you.
Man, it is just so frustrating. All right, Hank, we'll continue to follow the situation there, and maybe we can track down who it was. Yes.
So my neighborhood has become an obstacle course of trash cans today because it was trash day, and the wind has blown them all around, so they're all in the street.
We talked about that at this time yesterday, didn't we? Well, make sure you don't want to fall into that problem. So if it is trash day in your neighborhood too, call Kimberly Gill to come out there. No, I'm just kidding.
Big rocks at the bottom.
Make sure you take care of those trash bins. Make sure they're not rolling down the street because that's a distinct possibility with those high winds. Fortunately, not much in the way of rain right now. You can see a couple of scattered showers trying to form here. Southern tip essentially of Lake Erie. You got this one little blip right here, right around the Dundee area. No lightning associated with it, but it's scooting to the east very quickly. But there's a second line of showers farther to the north and west. You can see that here out toward Milwaukee, also Grand Rapids. This is not very impressive at all either. If you saw a lot of reds and oranges, it would indicate heavy rain, even thunderstorm activity, but we're not seeing it yet. It may get its act together and provide at least a few scattered showers and storms before sunset, just before 9 p.m. So we still got to be on the lookout for at least a little bit of rain later on this evening. Overnight temperatures, though, those showers that I just talked about, those are associated with a cold front that is going to sweep through. Once it does, we'll see our temperatures plummet to the 40s. That's right, getting a bit chillier, switching from air conditioning to heating overnight. Temperatures in the middle 40s here in town, low 40s in our other zones. We're looking at 88 right now with winds out of the southwest. Look at how high those winds are, everybody. You can see the ripples on the Detroit River, a few whitecaps that are out there too. 33-mile-per-hour winds and wind gusts near 40 miles per hour. Well, lower temperatures tomorrow, a little bit lower than average. You can see the average high this time of year is 71. We'll be back above average by the end of this weekend, but no 80s over the next 7 days. So if you still want to get outdoors and enjoy them, soak them up right now. It's 81 in Marlette, 84 degrees over in Lapeer, 86 out toward Ann Arbor, while it's 88 degrees over at Metro. Still have that wind advisory up because look at these winds, anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour or greater, but these gusts will get you too. That's why we've got some scattered power outages that are out there. You got to treat intersections with broken traffic lights as four-way stops. You got to remember that, or at least alert your family and friends to be wary of that as we go through this afternoon rush hour. Wind advisory up until 8 o'clock this evening. Behind the cold front, lower temps. 77 in Chicago, but look at that, 50s in Green Bay, even 30s right now in Marquette. Look at that. Now, we're not going to see 30s overnight, but tomorrow afternoon, high temperatures only in the 50s to about 60 degrees. You can see some more moisture lingering off to the west by the end of tomorrow. That doesn't make it in here until part of this weekend. So overnight tonight, 51 degrees. Yeah, that's here in town, but 40s in the suburbs. 64 for a high tomorrow. We're done with 80s for tomorrow. 69 degrees as we go into Saturday. Notice I put in a chance of scattered storms on Saturday. Yep. It's not a washout. The better chance of rain is on Sunday with a high of 78. Then we're back into the 60s with a few scattered showers coming back by midweek. But it's springtime. Lots of folks doing some planting, gardening, as well as
Flower Day this week in Eastern Oregon too.
That's
so yeah,
right.
Plenty
That's
going
right.
on. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Andrew. Let's check in with Dr. McGeorge. Hi, Doc.
Hey there, you know, if you think only the fairest need to worry about skin cancer, you could be making a deadly mistake. Ahead in Good Health, a survivor shares what everyone needs to know about skin cancer.
All right, Doc, but first, General Motors makes a $1 billion decision, what the company is deciding not to do after making a huge push just a few years ago. Next.
Welcome back. General Motors is going to stop selling vehicles in India. It was just 2 years ago GM pledged to pour $1 billion into its operations in India. But that plan has been scrapped as the automaker now plans to stop selling cars in India by the end of this year. GM spent more than 2 decades in the competitive India car market, but failed to make much of a dent. Its Chevy brand has just 1% of the overall car sales in India. 2 people are in custody after a high-speed chase ends on Detroit's west side.
Chase started in Westland after police were checking on a domestic violence complaint. They noticed a car leaving the home. Inside was a known parole absconder who led police on a 35-minute chase ending near Evergreen and I-96. Both the driver and the passenger were arrested without incident, and fortunately no one was hurt. The Global Automotive Alliance officially opened their new national headquarters today in Southwest Detroit.
Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan joined the company's founder and president today for the ribbon-cutting ceremony. 75,000 square foot facility. It's located on Clark Street. It houses offices and a warehouse and is expected to expand in the coming years.
New at 5:30.
Taking matters into her own hands. A local mom fed up with her kids' schools decides to do something about it, and wait until you see what it turned into. Bogged down. Officials in Macomb County say they're having trouble fixing the sinkhole in Fraser, and the reason has nothing to do with construction.
I'm Nick Monticelli. A devastating fire in the city of Sterling Heights off of 15 Mile Road. A 34-year-old woman is killed, and to make matters worse, firefighters were attempting to rescue her when the ceiling collapsed.
It's dinner time. Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
There just wasn't enough time to get out. Fire rips through a Sterling Heights apartment complex, leaving 1 woman dead and 3 others injured. That fire broke out late last night on 15 Mile Road, right near Dodge Park in Sterling Heights.
And now we've learned the identity of the victim. She is 33-year-old Laura Ann Phillips. She was set to celebrate her birthday this weekend. Investigators still trying to figure out how the fire started, but as Nick Monticelli reports, they're also wondering what was or wasn't there to help residents escape.
Good evening. One of the questions that fire investigators want to ask, as you mentioned, they're talking about how fast the fire spread. And they're looking into the possibility that were firewalls in place? If not, is it because the building is too old? And also, it appears there were no smoke detectors working.
Everything is burning. You see nothing but smoke. You saw nothing but smoke. But we saw the apartment across the hall from us. It was a bunch of flames. But we couldn't see what was. I didn't have time. I wasn't trying to look. I was trying to get out of there.
The people inside this Sterling Knoll apartment building say it took mere minutes for the entire thing to go up in flames. Some were running around, pounding on doors at 11 o'clock at night, trying to get people out.
And the top of the left house was like burnt, and that's when my dad started calling the police, and then we both started knocking on the houses.
This cell phone video shows the general area the fire may have started, the northwest corner of the building. And if you look carefully in the bottom right corner, you'll see a neighbor carrying a disabled man to safety. Unfortunately, though, not everyone made it out. 33-year-old Laura Ann Phillips died in this fire. Her 34th birthday would have been Saturday. Her father says she was a very special person. As firefighters were trying to get her, the ceiling collapsed on them, and they had to evacuate. Despite their loss, Laura's father called the chief to say thank you.
Yeah, her father called us, and he wanted to express his gratitude for the guy who's trying to save his daughter's life. So it's kind of an emotional phone call.
Investigators are also trying to figure out why this fire spread so fast. The chief says they'll be looking to see if the building had the proper firewalls. It also appears smoke detectors were not working. Now many are wondering, could that have saved Laura's life?
Any smoke detectors did not go off at all. That was the scary part.
In Sterling Heights, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Once investigators are done looking through the destroyed building, firefighters will help residents gather any belongings that might be salvageable there, but they are being warned there was so much fire and so much water used that most of their things have been ruined. All right, we've had a very breezy day. In fact, wind alert out right
I
now.
can't believe I stepped out for a few minutes. It is really gusty out there, Andrew.
Yeah, that wind advisory remains in effect, not just here in downtown Detroit, but also all of southeast Michigan. You're talking about gusts near 50 miles per hour. Here's a live look outside as we look at downtown Detroit. Now, those winds have brought in much warmer air, and it's staying here. We've got 88 degrees over at Metro, but look at the bottom numbers here and these wind directions. All winds generally out of the south or southwest. We got these winds out of the west over in Adrian, but they're all blowing in the much warmer air with temperatures right now that are in the 80s. 88 right now over at Metro Airport. You still see those waves and whitecaps out there on the Detroit River. Again, the wind advisories for Detroit and all of southeast Michigan until 8 o'clock this evening. In the way of shower and thunderstorm activity, it's all been minimal so far. You got this one little shower right here in northern Monroe County, but that is it. It's going to scoot off to the east, and it's actually diminished over the past few hours. The stormier weather, the more severe weather here in northwest Ohio for now. I say for now because there is a line of showers trying to get its act together farther to our west. You can see that here out toward Milwaukee, but notice how these showers erupt and then die down. So they may not have much oomph when they get closer to us. So the winds are the most important things to watch out for as we go over the next few hours. Driving difficulties, especially high-profile vehicles, keep both hands on the wheel. Tree limbs and possibly branches that might be down, and scattered power outages. We'll talk more about tonight and your weekend coming up.
All right, Andrew, now to the massive construction project that has captivated our attention since last Christmas. We all knew the 15-mile and Hayes Interceptor collapse was going to be very expensive to fix, but it is getting much more expensive, and one Metro Detroit community might just end writing that big check as a result. Business editor Rod Maloney live in Fraser with the latest and more on the community that really is in the crosshairs now, Rod.
Yeah, Devin, it's Sterling Heights, and they're the ones that are saying, look, we're part of the MID, which is the Macomb Intercept District, okay? They're saying that they've been paying into this thing for a long time, and they don't think now that they should have to pay for the fix that you're looking at here. The construction's gone on 24/7 now for 6 months. The jarring noise, dust, and odor, a constant inconvenience for residents. The larger underlying pay, of course, is the estimated $70 million or more it's going to take to fix this mess, and the increased water bills over the next generation that will come with it. But Sterling Heights Mayor Mike Taylor is saying, hold on just a minute.
When governments fail their residents, they need to be held accountable.
He went to court Monday trying to make it so his city won't have to pay $22 million because the former drain commissioner didn't do his job.
We paid for the inspection, the maintenance, the repair of this. We paid for that. We've been paying for that over the years, and the work wasn't done.
New drain commissioner Candace Miller says that just scuttled the planned bond float, the municipal credit card, if you will, planned for yesterday. Now it's scheduled for the end of June at a higher interest rate.
Their ratepayers, I believe, will now be looking at anywhere from $5 to $10 million of additional cost because of this lawsuit, which I thought was very misguided.
So much so, she intends to bill Sterling Heights for the increased cost. County Executive Mark Hackel agrees with the move.
But if they got a problem, they want somebody else to pay for this other than ratepayers and taxpayers, go after Tony Morocco, not the county, because really it's not only ill-conceived, it's going to be faint-hearted. It's not going to go anywhere.
Now, Miller says that because of the lawsuit, it's going to mean higher costs for everybody. Warren, $14 million. St. Clair Shores, $7 million. Roseville, $4 million more. And all of this needs to be worked out because of the court case, and that's going to take time. The clock's ticking, and yet they're running out of funds to fix this thing. This is really getting dicey, and there obviously is never a dull moment out here. Back to you, Doug.
And the project itself, Rod, this has been a real challenge to try and fix this.
Yes, and in fact, the challenge just gets larger. I'm going to step aside right here. Underneath the ground here, the pipe is almost as bad as the collapse on the other side. And they're saying they've got to fix that. And Candace Miller says that she just bought the pipe that's going to go inside the one that's leaking. They're sending it from Texas. The intent is to have this fixed for a few $1 million more, but they don't think they're going to have another collapse.
Wow. All right, Rod. Now to other stories that we're following from across the state of Michigan tonight. We want to start with a story affecting folks who live along Lake Erie.
That's right. Today, the U.S. Department of Commerce issued its yearly Lake Erie algae bloom protection, and it shows that harmful algae likely this summer from June through August. The department says the threat would increase dramatically if the heavy rain patterns eventually shift to northern Ohio and southeast Michigan.
On the west side of the state, police shut down a beach after complaints about a huge party with college students. Police in South Haven say the complaints began Wednesday afternoon after 3 busloads of college students showed up at South Beach. That's along Lake Michigan, as you see on the map. Police say there was blaring music and alcohol, with 300 to 400 people present at the beach party, and 4 of them ended up being arrested. 2 Michigan State Police troopers who died in the line of duty are memorialized with a road in Waterford Township.
The Trooper James DeLoach and Trooper Stephen Newick Memorial Highway was unveiled today. Both troopers died February 1st, 1992, when their patrol car crashed with a train. Their highway sign is now located at the site of that crash. Both of them, their mothers, they were actually present today to see their sons honored some 25 years later.
We miss them a lot. We still miss them after 25 years. It's like he was such a big force in our family, always fun, full of fun, and always a jokester.
Now, Trooper Newick joined MSP back in 1990. Trooper DeLoach joined in 1989.
Well, there is an old piece of wisdom that basically holds, if you don't like the way things are, then do something about it. One local mom is taking that mission to a new level.
She sure is. In this week's Heart of Detroit, Mitch Albom introduces us to one woman and Enroll Detroit.
As a mother, Bernita Bradley wants the best education possible for her kids, but finding a good school for them has been challenging.
They've been in 16 different schools in 9 different districts.
And what would you say was the biggest problem that kept recurring?
Too many kids in the classroom. It would be unstable teachers. They weren't teaching them.
So Bernita started to get involved in her children's schools, volunteering as a door monitor and then as a tutor. That's when she got a different perspective.
So I started seeing how the teachers were overwhelmed. Like, you have all these kids in your classroom, you're understaffed, you don't have support, and it became this thing of, I gotta do something.
So she started Enroll Detroit, a foundation helping Detroit families overcome enrollment barriers.
What's the philosophy of Enroll Detroit?
We learn, apply, and enroll. Research the schools. Don't just send the kid because they have beautiful uniforms or they got the best basketball team or whatever. We don't want the families to get discouraged or or them to drop out.
Enroll Detroit offers one-on-one support for families searching for the right program, one that meets specific benchmarks.
How are the students interacting with one another? What's the teacher retention rate? What's the graduation rate of the school, especially for high schoolers? One of the biggest misconceptions is that parents don't care. They do care, they're just tired and they don't know what to do. So we want to be that tool to help them. It's just wonderful to hear that a kid got into a place that's good for them and actually was able to stay there.
Once a parent in search of education for her own children, and now an advocate for others, Bernita Bradley is making education more accessible here in the heart of Detroit.
And good for her.
Fantastic.
A nice commitment. The King of the Netherlands is revealing a big secret.
Coming up new tonight, the very cool job he's quietly held for 21 years without anyone even noticing.
Also, an Ohio dad picked the wrong place to get drunk. What officials at Disney World say he did, that police say put his child in extreme danger. Doc?
Well, if you think only the fairest need to worry about skin cancer, you could be making a deadly mistake. Coming up, a survivor shares what everyone needs to know about skin cancer so it doesn't catch you off guard.